Hi, my name is Cindy Kicklighter. I'm excited to talk to you guys today. A little bit about my story. In 2013, I was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. I'm from Connecticut, and it was a devastating diagnosis for me. I remember that day when I got that call, and it was positive results, and it was just devastating. And it thrusted me into a journey to make some very serious decisions. I was brought to the hospital with a lot of aggression and a lot of fear, and they said we needed to move very fast. It had grown into a stage 3. It had gone into the lymphatics, and it was a very aggressive cancer, and the doctors had said that if they did not move very, very fast, then it definitely was a terminal prognosis. I sat home, and I remember them giving me a big book on the cancer clinic and said, this is what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to go about doing it. By December of 2014, my prognosis of cancer, stage 4, it was, and I knew about this cancer, so I didn't fear it, but the cancer had gone into the hip. It ate my left acetabulum. I was wheelchair bound. It had gone up my spine. It was in all my lymph nodes. The tumors were my lymph nodes. I couldn't cough. I couldn't sneeze. My children could come and kiss mommy, but they couldn't hug mommy because the pain of the cancer going through the body. They did a scan on me before I had found New Hope. Right before I came out to the clinic, they did a scan on me, and they said the cancer's in the liver. They showed me the scan of the spine, and the doctor pretty much leaned over and said, Cindy, this is irreversible. She said, I'm not going to be able to save your life, but if we move really fast, I'll be able to extend your life. And my mom and I were sitting in that room, and I wouldn't agree with that because I knew the body, but I needed some help. I spoke to a doctor, and somebody had referred New Hope, and it was such a blessing. The day before I had gotten information on New Hope, I had already known about cells and oxygen and blood, and I knew what I was looking for. I just couldn't find it in the United States. I couldn't find it with the doctors. I knew about the immune system. I knew, and I went on their website. And it wasn't the referral that made the decision for me to come to New Hope. I was an educated consumer. I knew what I was looking for. I couldn't believe that one place could do all of this for me. So I immediately booked my tickets. And the day before I flew out, the cancer clinic up in Connecticut said, you need to get into the hospital immediately. Your hip is going to deteriorate inside of you. We need to start moving fast. I said, well, you're going to have to move after I get back from Mexico because I just booked my flights. I got down to the clinic, brought my sister-in-law with me because I couldn't travel alone. And again, I was in excruciating pain. And I went through 12 days at the clinic with just such care. I can say when I showed up, I first of all met the doctors and met Dr. Brinion, and I felt like I wasn't a patient. I think they looked at me like this was another opportunity to prove success. And the experience of 12 days not only was filled with education, amazing treatments, immunal things. I knew the avenue they were taking was to build Cindy's body so Cindy's body could go and do what it's supposed to do, which will beat cancer and help us live long lives. And within 2 months to 3 months, I couldn't get out of my own bed. I had to have someone walk me from the bed to the bathroom. I couldn't get in the shower myself. I couldn't lift my hands above my shoulders when I left the clinic. Within 2 to 3 months, I began taking showers on my own. My hip began to heal. I could cough, I could sneeze, and we went and did a scan in approximately maybe March, April. When we did the scan back in Connecticut, April, May, the doctor came in the room. I had been able to have a lot more movement, feeling amazing, and she just went through my body and she began talking. And she said, well, we don't see any more here, and we don't see any more here. And she continued with this conversation, me and my mom and dad in this room. And I finally stopped her and I said, Doc, is this kind of like what you guys call remission? And she looked at me and she said, you've been in remission. We sobbed. And the answer was, I did not do chemo. I did not do the treatments that were prescribed to me up front, I came down here. I got 12 days. I continued on the journey that I knew so much about. I just needed to go somewhere where we all agreed with the same thing. You know, I would ask the doctors things like, well, if you give me that treatment, won't it kill my dendritic cells and my natural killer cells that are killing cancer? And the doctors would say, yeah, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about the cancer. And I'd say, I'm not worried about the cancer. I'm worried about my dendritic cells and my killer cells. And she just looked at me. She said, Cindy, it's just a miracle. I said, no, doc. I said, if we give our body the right things, if we do the right things with our God-given body, cancer's not something to fear. I'm going to encourage you on your journey. This is the first day. You're going to make it. You're going to take a stand. You're going to get educated, and you're going to come back from whatever situation it is. There is no situation that is hopeless. There is places. There's new hope to give us hope. And I thank you guys so much for being a lifesaver in my life.